Hey viewers, welcome to another Gamer Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing another Starcraft game and we are playing Protoss versus Zerg, and these are two famous players playing. It is iSAxslav versus EGIdrA, or Idra. I don't know how to pronounce it, still don't. Yeah, both of them are pretty famous. This is most probably from some tournament. To be honest, I don't really know, but I'm guessing it is from a tournament because there are actually multiple games of this series. So this is probably a best of 3, see, from the amount of games I have, but since I have no clue where they are from because it didn't say on the replay site where I got them from, yeah, we're just going to have to see. So I'm going to do all of them, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So as you might have noticed from the previous video, though not a lot of people have seen that, I am now able to upload more than 15 minutes, which is excellent, and that makes it a lot easier to actually upload these kind of games, since this game is 24 minutes. So it doesn't mean that the video will actually be 24 minutes because we're playing on faster here instead of normal, and that means that the game is going to be, well, the video time is going to be a little shorter than the game time. So we see an early forge going down here. Let's put on the production tab, and we see a hatchery coming down over here. So the fast expansion for both of the players, but the Protoss chooses to go forge first, obviously. Because, well, he needs to be able to protect his base against the Zerglings. The Zerglings can come in really quickly. And we see the spawning pool going down. Yeah, they forge into, well, since he hasn't scouted yet, he is going to have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, he's going for the Nexus before actually putting down the first cannons. But yeah, it sees the spawning pool coming up, sees that it's about halfway done, and runs back out again, obviously keeping his probe alive there. Didn't even take damage, took a few hit points off of the shield, and the Automaton 2000 watches that chase going on, and then sees this drone actually going for a third hatchery, a second expansion. And yeah, that is really quick. So we see a cannon coming up for our Protoss player, a gateway just to block the cannon in, and there's going to be another building over here just to make sure, or yeah, maybe a small building, and then a zealot or something like that to block off this this cannon from outside attacks. Because yeah, when your cannon gets surrounded by Zerglings, it is really hard to keep it alive. Well, it's impossible to keep it alive. But if there are buildings in front of it, surrounding it, it is very hard. Yeah, and there we go, small building, leaving a little bit of a, well, a gap there. The gap should be blocked by the first unit coming out of the gateway. And yeah, he uses the cybernetics core to make this a nice wall off. This cannon is very hard to reach, and even if you reach it, you can only fit a few Zerglings there, making it very hard to take out. So scouting this base, at least I'm assuming he saw that. Yeah, he did see that. He saw this base coming up as well. And yeah, we see that our Zerg player only scouted this front part of the base, doesn't even know whether there is an expansion. Of course there is an expansion, and he is assuming that. But imagine this this Protoss player actually going for yeah, well, a few more gateways, like 6 gateways in his main. I don't know how many you can actually sustain for a little bit. I know 4 gate is a normal strategy. I think you can do 6 gateways, and you can do like 2 rounds of units from them before you have to, well, expand. And after that, yeah, if you keep producing from them, obviously you won't have enough minerals to to keep the troops going, and yeah, that would have been an option here, but since the Zerg player didn't scout, but since these overlords, as you can see, they can skirt around the edges of the map, making it very hard for our Protoss player to see whether or not there are actually well, it actually got scouted, because obviously you cannot see what the opponent knows. So we see some assimilators going down, 4 assimilators total, an extra gateway coming up, and this is probably, yep, the warp gate research. And the warp gate research will, once it finishes, yeah, will allow him to warp everything, to make every gateway into a warp gate. And yeah, we see that the Zerg player is pretty far ahead here in the worker count. That is quite normal. The Zerg player doesn't really have to worry about anything until the attacks are actually coming in, because, well, here now the zealots are coming in, and he's building a spore crawler, which is, well, very early, to be honest. So, and yeah, he gets some roaches out to deal with those zealots. Roach is very good against zealots because, well, they can kite the zealots pretty well. And obviously, yeah, if you're a ranged unit versus a melee unit, you're most of the time going to be okay. So 3 zealots over, zerglings over here, just to see whether there's a base coming up. They are going to die now, well, which is kind of obvious. And there is a pylon going down here, just to spot when drops are coming in, or, well, other air units. So he's going to build some more pylons, but yeah, doesn't scout this guy over here. It obviously also allows him to warp in units over the edge, but that's not what it's for. It's for scouting purposes. So the zerglings and, oh no, it's only roaches, never mind. The roach is actually trying to take down the destructible debris. And it's all of this, yeah, it's all one thing, so okay, sure. Yeah, it says here, well, the circle under it kind of made me think that it would be 3 small things, but it is one big thing. So now this passageway is open, meaning that if the Protoss decides to expand over here, he's going to have a hard time defending, because troops can come in through this side and through the other side, which makes it very hard to hold. Lots of roaches going now, 42 roaches on the map, and that is going to make for quite an interesting fight. He sees that there is 1 cannon, and well, he cannot really spot all of these units because the sight range of the roaches isn't that good, but he does see that there is an excellent wall in here. There is no way he's going to break that, well, not easily. He can of course break it, because you can break any number of buildings, but he would lose quite a few roaches in the process. So this observer over here, and that might very well be why he got the spore crawler, because he doesn't want to have any observers in his base. But the observer is in his base anyway, and yeah, it is still alive. It took some shots there, but it's up to full health again, well, full shields. So the observer is going to scout around to see if there are any hidden expansions. It's probably going all the way up, yep, and then going over here, scouting all of the bases except for the gold ones. He knows there's nothing here because he scouted that, but for the rest, or for the other one, yeah, he's assuming there's nothing there, because that would be a very, very dangerous base to take. And yeah, that's pretty much impossible to hold. So once the observer went out, he actually built a hatchery here, which is interesting because now the observer didn't spot it, and he is going to spot it if he comes back, obviously. But so far so good. So dropping a changeling in there, I think, yeah, probably, and then losing this overseer. The overseer, yeah, they're often used to just scout run because they're quick. They don't do a whole lot except for, well, spotting the invisible units, but they are really quick, meaning that they can run in and run out pretty quickly. Sometimes without dying, and sometimes they just scout enough to make it worth it. In this case, I don't think it was worth it, and yeah, we see the Protoss player moving forward here, getting well, the vision from that one observer that is there, and actually taking out a few creep tumors and an overlord, and yeah, just the few creep tumors makes it already a lot harder for our Zerg player here to attack. And wow, going in for with all of his roaches, even though he knows there are a lot of force fields coming his way. And yeah, it seems to be really hard to defeat this, as he already comments, because yeah, the roaches are not going to be able to do anything here because of, well, the colossi doing a large amount of damage to them, and of course the immortals kind of, yeah, pounding on them from well, with double damage. I think they do. Oh, actually more than double damage. They do 60 damage instead of 24. So yeah, there it is quite hard to do anything about that. Yeah, and now he did break that front part of the base. He is going to counterattack with his roaches, and yeah, the whole army now back, and he might actually be able to take out this nexus. Yes, he does. And since there are no more minerals here, I'm guessing that he's not going to rebuild that. The roaches do bury, but yeah, why? He knows there's an observer there, so now they cannot fight back, and yeah, all of them get taken out. You might as well have taken out like the robotics bay or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, the new a new quadrant of roaches over here, or well, new army of roaches. Let's just call them an army. And yeah, they did take out the forge in the first attack. The forge being the building of choice to go for there. And he did do some damage, but I don't think it's actually worth it. Although he does have quite a bit of minerals saved up, and he is still at 200, so he is going to try to trade his army for the Protoss army. And he's going to... oh, you can actually do that. Go under the force fields. So yeah, the roach is falling back a little bit. All of the spine crawlers getting taken out. And this immortal is going to go down pretty quickly. He left that fort a little bit too much. And yeah, still a large army from the Protoss. Not a whole lot the Zerg player can do about this ball. He needs to pick off units one at a time. One of the roaches running in. Another one. Just wrong rally points here. And they weren't actually even focusing him when he came in. So the zealots taking out this base, yeah, getting warped in, by the way, with this warp prism. And yeah, a large amount of roaches once again in this base. And it did take out the first nexus. Oh, he did rebuild his nexus, but is going to lose that right away again. Because of the roaches that are still in his base. At least I'm assuming, because taking out both nexi would be very good for him. Yeah, there we go. no mining for our Protoss player here, which is probably the best strategy the Zerg player could go for, because he cannot really beat the army, but he is pretty sure that he can hold it off. And still 500. Yeah, there's a new nexus coming up. So if this one gets taken down before the mining starts, or there is enough mining done, he is in fact going to lose, because he cannot mine anymore. And it is of course in the most secure location here, but still the front here is completely destroyed. And although he did rebuild his forge, it is not a good thing to have. He can build cannons therefore, but yeah, it doesn't really have the minerals to do that. So 2-in-1 upgrades here for our Protoss, and our Zerg player has 2-in-2 upgrades, which may actually make a big difference. The drones coming into fight, because this is really the last attempts from the Protoss player to get this win. And yeah, if the Immortals fall, this is going to be really hard for the Protoss to win. There we go, all of the... No, 2 Immortals still alive. Although they don't have shields anymore, so although they do quite a bit of damage, they don't really have anything to... well, to defend with. And their defense is their strong point. Obviously their offense is good as well, but... yeah, he is going to attempt to snipe this nexus before there are 400 minerals up. And is he still mining? No, he is not. Yeah, he is. Now he is. There are 10 drones mining here, but long distance mining. And oh, he does take out the nexus. This means that our Protoss player only has this army and will not get more, because there is no way he can rebuild his base. And the Zerg player can actually long distance mine here. He is spotting all of this with his warp prism. But this is going to be, well, close to say the least. It is already close. But these infestors are going to make the difference if they are full energy. Let me check. Yeah, most of them have, well, 2 of them have almost full energy, and 2 of them have, well, actually very low energy. But infested Terrans are only costing 25. Might actually be good enough. So indeed he is spamming the infested Terrans here, and the infested Terrans will be able to take out some of these units. Oh, he loses? Really? He cannot defeat... okay. Yeah, had he spawned these units at a different spot, I think he would have had a chance, because this guy is almost dead. This guy has shields again. That kind of sucks. No, there's no way he could have won that. Never mind. He just didn't have enough to make that happen. Didn't have mining himself because he lost his base. The few zealots that were sent here with the warp prism, they actually took out his base, and that was what sealed the deal in the end for the Protoss player. And yeah, nice game, really close. And on to game 2. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. GG.